So in today's video, I want to share some tips and tricks on how you can easily color grade your D-Log footage coming from the Mavic 3 Classic in a super fast and simple way using an app called LumaFusion. So without further ado, let's jump over to the first clip. So now that we're inside of LumaFusion, we're gonna go straight over to edit on the first clip here. And in order to color correct and adjust this, we first need to add an original color preset. This is basically an empty layer where you're free to customize the colors as you want. Now, if we take a look at the waveform here on the bottom left section of the image, we can see it's quite compressed. This is because the D-Log color profile is quite flat. So in order to introduce more shadows and highlights and contrast to the image, we need to stretch out the waveform. So in order to do that, we are going to use the levels. And the levels basically works as the curves work in Final Cut Pro and Premiere Pro and DaVinci Resolve. So if we take the right knob of the levels here and push to the left, you can see that we compress the waveform even more. But taking it to the right side, you can see that we stretch out the waveform, introducing more contrast, shadow, and highlights to the image. So we can also take the right knob here, which is the highlights, and we can push that a little bit down, just like that. And as a final touch here, we're gonna add some saturation and some vibrance. And we now have a finished color corrected image. If your white balance is a little bit off, you can also change that with a simple trick of adjusting the blue RGB slider here. So the slider towards yellow will introduce more warmth into your clip, and the other way around will cool down your image. So our clip is now finished and color corrected, and the last step now is to add our own signature LUT or our custom LUT if we want to do that. So I'm gonna go with the caramel LUT, which I really love, and adjusting the blender here a little bit, the blend slider, and done. So let's take a look before, and this is corrected, and this is with the custom LUT. We also have a different clip here, and that is a shot with some snow in it, and this is basically the easiest one to correct. So if we go into the edit section of this and add an original color preset, we're going to take the levels again, and if we take a look at the waveform, we can see that it's not as compressed as it was before. So that means we can take the levels now and push to the right, right before we hit the bottom here of the shadows. We don't want to clip the shadows, and we can also see that we have some room on the highlights here. So we can take that and extend the highlights knob of the levels to something like that. And also introduce some more saturation and maybe a little bit of vibrance, and done. Super simple and super fast. Now let's move over to the last clip here, and it's the same thing with this. I'm gonna add an original color preset, and we can adjust the levels here. So with this, you can actually see on the waveform here that we are stretching the left and right side a little bit more than the middle section. And as far as we go here, we still see that there's more room for the shadows down here at the bottom, especially on the left and right side. We can change that by taking the shadow side of the levels and push down. And we can also push it further down by using the shadow amount here. Push that to the left, and there we go. And add some saturation maybe, and some vibrance. And we now have a finished corrected image with this clip as well. So this is a super simple and easy way of color correcting your D-Log footage, and also decent like footage for something like the Mini 3 Pro, just by simply correcting the levels and expanding the midtones of the levels, and then you basically stretch out your waveform, and that's the thing that you want to look at when you are color grading in LumaFusion. So for this one, we can also add a custom LUT. We can add something like the golden here, and we can take the blend slider, just correct a little bit, and add our unique style to it, and we are done. So here we have 3 clips color corrected and graded with our custom LUTs in just a few seconds. And what's really nice with the LumaFusion and the iPad is that it's extremely fast. This is my 2019 MacBook Pro. This is fully spec'd, and this can't play back the footage that I just played back here in LumaFusion from the Mavic 3 Classic. I would need to add proxies, and I hate proxies because it takes so much time. So color grading and editing on something like an iPad is extremely fast, and you have the versatility of, you know, you can start the project on your phone, you can continue on your iPad, and you can finish it off on something like an M1 MacBook. Really hope that you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, let me know down in the comment section below, and also if you want to see more videos like this, let me know down in the comment section below as well. So until next time, make sure to hit that subscribe button, by the way, if you haven't done that. Also, if you enjoyed this video, give it a like for the algorithm. So until next time, take care, and I will see you soon.